Yesterday, I listed these two keyboards that I picked up just down the road at a garage sale for only $5 a piece. And I've sold these before, so I know they're worth an okay amount of money. I think I got 30 or $40 for mine previously because they weren't in great shape. Well, these were in really good shape. They both had the original boxes, but they were both missing the sleeves that go over those boxes that have all the graphics and information about the keyboard. But I listed these kind of high because, well, they were clean and they sold for my full asking price in under 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 8 seconds to be exact. And they both went to the same buyer. So did I underprice these things? I don't know. Most of them are under $100 on eBay, but there are quite a few that are over $100, especially if they're new. These weren't new, but they could almost pass as new. And I listed them as used. I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on anybody, but I don't know. Take a look at these and let me know, did I underprice them? So like I said, they're both super clean. They could almost pass as new keyboards, especially this one because it has the USB cable still partially wrapped up in the plastic. Actually, that's how it came originally, it looks like. There's a little zip tie there and there's a zip tie over here. But both of them came with these little risers that are attached to the bottom. And when I find these in like a thrift store or somewhere, it usually doesn't have that riser. So I think that added to the value a little bit. Now, if you've ever used one of these keyboards, if you know how to type properly, I guess they can be okay. You either love them or you hate them. I do not like these keyboards. I like just a plain, regular, everyday, normal keyboard. But these are all over the map in terms of pricing. Most of them are under $100. Some of them are over $100. If they're new, they're well over $100. But let me know, did I underprice these? Would you have listed them higher than $100 each? Is this person that I sold them to going to flip them? It's possible. I might have to just keep an eye on these listings and see if one pops up that looks just like this with the box. But either way, I only paid $5 for them. And if this person's going to make some money on them or they just want them for themselves and they got them at a good price, then I'm fine with that. Sitting right next to these keyboards is a vintage Dietz Vesta railroad lantern that I picked up not too long ago. This one is very common, if not the most common railroad lantern out there because it's from the NYCS, New York Central System. It's New York, USA right there on the globe. So it didn't go for a whole lot of money because there's just so many of these out there. If you're looking to get into collecting something like this is probably where you'd want to start. You can walk into any antique store here in New York or the entire Northeast and you're almost guaranteed to find one of these things hanging up for sale. This one has some condition issues, a little rusty, a little dent at the top, but they made these for nearly 50 years. So condition's going to play a big role when it comes to value because there's so many of these out there. The damaged ones are pretty much a dime a dozen, but it sat for a little while in my store and I did finally get an offer for $25 plus shipping. Another thing going out is this UMIG Mark S712 projector, Super 8, Single 8. It is working. It's got a working light bulb in it. It's got some flaws on it here and there, but I don't typically buy these and I probably won't buy them again because I've had this for well over a year. I do know that some projectors can bring some good money, especially if they have, if they have sound and they have tube amps built inside of them. But this one here, like I said, I've had it for quite a while and I did just get a best offer for $50 plus shipping. These didn't last too long. These are vintage York flat bottom dumbbells. They're only 2 pounds, but you can see they've got a flat spot so they don't go rolling away. And I've got another set here at the house that have been here since the beginning of time. And I don't need 2 sets of 2-pound dumbbells here. But like I said, they didn't last very long and they just sold for $15 plus shipping. This is a little tiny pair of binoculars or opera glasses. And I've sold these in the past, but I had the Pentax version. These here say United on them. It says seal of quality. They're made in Japan. And the case itself also has a little marking there, made in Japan. So I picked these up at an estate sale not too long ago. I think they were only $5 or something like that. And they sat for about a month or so in the store, but they just sold for $20 plus shipping. This piece here, this wood plane from the Sandusky Tool Company, it actually sold twice yesterday. Someone sent me an offer in $30 and then canceled and said, placed order by mistake. I relisted the item shortly after they canceled. And the same person sent me an even lower offer for this item, which I did not accept. And they sent me another low offer and I didn't accept it. And I'm glad I didn't because it ended up selling for the full asking price I had up of $39.99 plus shipping. These came from an estate sale. Maybe, I think it was only a couple weeks ago. I picked up a Nintendo Wii with a whole bunch of games. And the games that were worth a little bit more, I took them out and sold them, well, listed them separately, and this is one of them. This is Mario Kart for the Wii. No manual, no artwork on it, but I did have these 2 wheels for the controllers, the Wiimotes, that came with that Wii. So I lotted them up with the game, and it just sold for $28 plus shipping. Here's one that's been sitting for a little while. This is a Masters of the Universe Stondar figure. It is incomplete. This came from probably just a tote full of toys that I picked up somewhere. And he just sold for $6.99 plus shipping. While I'm sitting here boxing everything up, an offer just came in for this Nikon Coolpix S8000. It's got some marks on it right here and some stuff back here on the screen. So it's not a perfect camera. It didn't go for the full amount that some of these can go for, but I picked this up really cheap last week. I think it was $3 or $5. I can't remember off the top of my head here, but it came with 2 batteries. There's one in the camera, and I've got an OEM Nikon battery there, USB cable, charger, and I threw in a 16 gig SD card sitting here in the camera. But this one sold on an offer for $125 plus shipping. All right, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.